Assalamu alaikum everybody. Welcome to Deep Exploration Code. In this video, I will show you how to reduce the number of meshes in order to reduce the number of vertices, edges and faces using Decimate modifier. After opening Blender, we go to Viewport Overlay to turn on Statistics. We notice the apparition of information concerning the three objects that appear. By removing the lamp and the camera, we notice that the value of object is 0, 1. The 0 means that no object is selected, and 1 that an object exists. We also notice the different values that correspond to the number of vertices, edges, faces and triangle for our object that is the cube. Now we will delete our cube. Then we will click on Shift+A and we select UV sphere. After that, we change the values to 320 for segment and 160 for rings. Next, we will duplicate our sphere by clicking on Shift+D, then G, then Y to move it on the Y-axis. Afterwards, we click on numpad 3 to see the left side view. Then, we will duplicate again our sphere by clicking on Shift+D, then G, then Y to move it on the Y-axis. We will now select our first UV sphere and go to Edit mode. We notice that the mesh is very dense. To decrease the number of meshes, we go back to Object mode, then we select the second UV sphere. And we go to Modifier Properties, then we click on Add Modifier, then on Decimate. We can see that there are three ways to reduce the number of meshes. We will first keep collapse and then we will decrease its value to 0.5 and then we will click on Apply to validate our setting. Before continuing, we will duplicate our UV sphere again and move it along the Y-axis as follows. Now, let's go back to our third UV sphere by selecting it. Then we click on Add Modifier and select Decimate. And this time we choose Unsubdivide and we give it the iteration value equal to 3. If we give a bigger value, we will notice that our sphere deforms. Then we click on Apply to validate our setting. Now we select our last UV sphere. Then we go to Add Modifier and we click on one more time on Decimate. This time we select Planar. and set the angle limit to 1.5. Then we click on Apply to validate our setting. After selecting Decimate for each UV sphere, what will we get? To answer to this question, you just have to go in Edit mode. Then zoom in on each UV sphere. We notice that the mesh layout changes. For the first sphere, we observe that when we don't apply any modifier, the mesh layout is homogeneous. However, for the second sphere, the mesh layout is deformed, especially when we go towards the extremity of our sphere. For the third sphere, we notice that in spite of applying Decimate modifier, the mesh layout remains homogeneous. For the last sphere, we notice that the mesh layout has a very specific distribution. Finally, we will show you a picture of the four spheres in edit mode with a zoom on a part of each sphere to better see the difference obtained. This is how we use Decimate modifier. If you enjoyed this video or learned anything, leave a like, subscribe and click on the bell icon to get new video update. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you next time.